Yeah.
Yeah, we can't
No
go with those other
famous.
names. Nope, not at all.
Hey,
We're
real famous.
so-
I'll take it.
No more world famous, even
I'll
though
take it. I'll take it.
you want more world famous.
That's never gonna go away.
Aw, okay.
We are excited. This is the last podcast episode of 2019.
Yep, and look, guys, we're on video.
What
We
up?
did it. All four of us. So if you guys are listening, you know that we are on YouTube, and so you can see actually what the husbands look like
Wow.
for the first time ever. Oh, you look,
On video.
you guys look great. Okay,
Yes.
now let's have a seat.
All right.
Here you go.
Okay, so this is our first episode of the year. So we had to talk about, of course, the goal setting, new year, new you, new me, new us, new we.
Listen, right now is the season for the Facebook dissertation recaps
Oh yeah.
of 2019.
Mhm.
And I just voiced a few hours before we came over. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. It doesn't feel right now. Like,
But it's a whole decade.
I get
It's a whole 10 years. Like,
but that's not
That's
what
a
they're
lot.
talking about. They're still just talking about 2019.
um,
And somebody was like, the end of the year, did y'all see the meme that says the end of the year don't mean that you had to get rid of all your friends. Like, you should have been
It might be
filtering.
you.
You should have been filtering. Yeah, it could be you. You should have been filtering all
Throughout
year.
the year.
and then
yeah.
how did you collect
all
all these?
those bad
At the
friends?
end, to like,
You do it every year. So
Right, right.
Throughout the year, you were just collecting bad friends to let
just
them
so
go.
you can.
Right. You gotta have something to let go.
Right. So let me collect you, because on New Year's Eve is a wrap.
It's a
New
wrap.
Right.
me,
Your time.
new me.
You've been.
But you said like on your social media, you don't like what you see.
I just log out.
What you see though?
Shenanigans.
Mess. But the first of the year, I log out. Like I'm like, I don't even want to see social media for all of January. So
Yeah. So, but why don't you pull them? Why don't you just delete them?
no, because I might miss something.
right.
FOMO. Funny,
FOMO
it's
is
funny.
big.
It's
funny,
entertainment.
But
so
you just want a little break from it.
yeah. But some people take social media too seriously. So
Mm.
it's fun. It's supposed to be catching up with people you don't see all the time. It's not so serious.
Yeah. Well, I get that seriousnness because it's like all the people doing the woe is me things that happened over 2019,
Oh, God.
And so, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, 2018, I did my little signing out because 2018 was rough. But like, honestly, I've been really trying to reflect about what happened in 2019. I don't even know.
Such a blur.
Like,
Fast.
Deers, cars.
yeah, I don't know. I know we had 2 severe wrecks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember much before that. I think I have amnesia. I
Blackout.
didn't get checked at the accident.
Oh no.
I really don't remember much about 2019.
Hmm.
What were your, well, let's talk about, since we're not going to do a social media sign off, we can do, we could do a little a recap of our 2019. I think I want to start with the marriage retreat. That was a high moment, even though, we hit the deer on the way. But like the retreat itself, I feel like was so cool. I feel like it has our sweet tea and sunshine flavor. Like it really is our personality, and we know that marriages were restored on that weekend. So that's the biggest success of the weekend.
You're able to overcome a lot too. Like I say, y'all hit the deer. And
yeah.
then
The llama.
when we got there, the place wasn't, up to par. And it was like, it seemed like it was quick that we moved on to the next thing. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
it was blessings on
Yeah,
blessings
yeah,
on blessings.
It was
for
like a
sure.
lot of blocking going on the way down
Yeah.
there too. Like, you had to stop and get new tires.
Yeah, I had to get
And
tires
then it
on
was
the
5
way.
hours late leaving. So it was
Just
just
a
a lot of
Just
just
a lot.
what's happening.
Yeah,
So
it was
we
a
already
lot.
know when there's a lot of blocking, then it's gonna be a good weekend. And it really was. It turned out to be amazing, the best one yet.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Mhm.
So that was I do remember that.
And that being said, the next one is planning. I think it's definitely going to be even better.
Ooh, yes.
Now that we're finalizing a lot of the
2020.
details. If you are not signed up, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you
people
better.
trying to get in
Spots
there.
are almost done.
Oh my gosh, already?
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to 2020
Mhm.
for the meetups and our retreats that we will be
Yeah,
having.
and check out our website because it has all the information that you need to know about the retreat. You can also look on our Facebook page. We have it's called the Lovers and Friends Marriage Retreat. So that works.
Okay, that was some business. Oh, that we pivoted last year, 2019.
Oh, that's right.
We got super focused on marriage and,
Mhm.
uplifting marriage and ministering to other marriages. So that happened in 2019. I'm trying to
Yeah.
go backwards. I'm working backwards.
Right. I think that we had a lot of professional differences that went on in 2019, the beginning, the first half. And I think that making the pivot was probably necessary for like moving away from education and stuff like that. Because I think I was in a bad place as far as like the whole system. And so I was like, there's no podcast that we need to record because I feel the same way I did the time before.
Right.
So like making the pivot, I think really helped me refresh my mind and my own goals. And not to focus on so much of, the other, but the other. Like my real job.
Right.
What about you?
What about?
I don't know. Was there anything good about 2019? Good, bad, ugly?
Good. Yeah, we got out, did a little more traveling with the
that's
kids,
right. Yeah.
and I think we refocused our gift giving for Christmas. We decided to lay off of a bunch of expensive gifts and try to create some memories. So that was fun.
And it worked. I think
Yeah.
it worked really well.
It really
Yes.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Experiences are the best.
You come to realize everybody else is gonna buy the gifts anyway. So I'm like, our kids didn't even miss out on gifts because people were still trying to get them stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of gifts, you want to tell about the guy at your house? I mean, at your job that
Oh.
his kid.
Yeah, so this guy was telling me, he was just trying to catch up after the holidays and everything. He was telling me that his son had 9 Christmases. And they it's not his son biologically, he's with his spouse and they have a child together, but then he was already there. So it was their Christmas at their house, and then the guy's mama did Christmas for him.
Okay.
The guy's daddy did Christmas for him because they're not together.
Oh,
The
geez.
grandparents on both sides did Christmases
Oh,
together. His
okay.
real father did a Christmas with him, and the grandparents of that guy's father also did a Christmas with them as well. 9 different stops.
You're right.
Yeah. How much
Gifts
do you
are,
need?
gifts are coming
it's
from
coming.
everywhere. So why not
Right.
invest?
And his wife was sitting, as you know, they were looking at things the night before and was like, well, I don't know if we did enough and everything like that. And he said, she kind of started scrolling through Facebook because he was trying to explain, like, no, we're fine. This kid is blessed beyond measures. And then she started scrolling through, and I guess some of her other friends were not as fortunate. And then was like, oh, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. So,
So they do, and I thought Christmas was a day that Jesus was born, but now we
Man.
doing,
Yeah,
we
it's
giving
flipping.
the Christmas 9 times. Like, I don't
Yes.
understand. It's all the same holiday. So
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't-
becoming too
Bless it.
materialist, just buying a bunch of
that's
stuff.
straight. That means that you literally are buying Christmas. What did they say? The budget was like $700 to $800 that an average family spends on Christmas for their family.
yeah,
We
I
had some
think I
people at
remember that.
work. I know a lady was talking. She's like, "Oh, we got paid early." I said, "Go ahead and pay your bills first, and then." She's like, "No, I just put some on like the lights and." Like she was
something on it.
Wait, let me stop. There's
I'm like,
people out
you
here
do
really
what
doing
I'm
that.
like, you're a grown up. Your kids don't need all that stuff. She's like, "I'm trying to get a hoverboard," and I was like, "I got 2 used hoverboards. If you would like one of them." She's like, "No, they want a new one." So I'm like,
but you're going to be in the dark.
well,
And
she
you
gonna put
can't
something
even
on it.
recharge it because
Right.
it ain't
She
gonna be
said
no
you gonna put something on it,
electricity. Oh man, we
I
gotta
don't wanna do that.
prioritize for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I
Like
don't wanna do
people in general need to.
And it gets emotional because I think their heart is in the right place because they want to do the right thing, but
Right.
then it's like you putting yourself in a bind just for one
Right.
day, and then the kids aren't gonna remember the toy, don't play with the toys, or whatever the case may be, and it's like it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
We bought majority of what they need. Like they wanted clothes and shoes, and we were like, "Yeah, we'll get some clothes and shoes," because they both growing. So.
Right.
Mhm.
That makes sense. But yeah, throughout the year too, you get stuff.
It's different.
It's not
It's
like-
different. It used to be we got. I don't know if y'all raised like this, but we would get stuff at income tax, back to school and Christmas. Like that's when,
Really?
yeah, like it wasn't
You
a,
can get no income tax.
It
I was saying
wasn't-
back to school and
it
Christmas.
wasn't a constant
Every month, every other week.
purchasing cycle. It was certain times of the year you got new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not the way America functions
Yeah,
now.
no.
No. Well, I think our kid, like, I can't, when we school shop, they grow, and then so by October, which is her birthday, it's like, okay, well, now I can buy you
Time
the
to re-up.
pants because
Right.
you only got shorts before. Like, it's just, it is ongoing. As a teacher, I got to go back and find markers because I didn't even, like, school shopping, I didn't even, like, buy enough for the whole year. I only
Mhm.
bought it because it was on sale. They should give us a sale in January for that stuff.
Re-up.
Oh my gosh, that
Because
would
I
be
really
so
now have to pay
good.
full price going back.
Yeah, and,
Oh, well.
and the markers is they're really done.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Uniforms, all that.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that was holidays. I mean, do you guys have anything?
What?
Something good happened to you in 2019. I forgot. You got a new job.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Recap
Oh,
of
okay.
2019.
Yeah, short my
Oh,
commute,
yeah.
not traveling nearly
Yes.
as much.
That
So
was a huge blessing to our family. That was my biggest highlight of the year.
Mhm.
I had a stay-at-home husband. It felt like it changed to a stay-at-home husband.
Yep, so
Awesome.
That
it's
was
been
cool.
a good transition. We added a dog at the end of the year, right
Ooh,
before Christmas. So
look for the pics. They're coming.
yeah, that's
Sweet Tea and Sunshine IG. It's the podcast. It's the family pup.
Right. I was
It's
wondering where he
ours. It's cute at
was. Y'all
your
need to bring
house.
him over so we can say happy New
Aw.
you know,
Year.
Blue, way his sleep set up. You know, he
Oh,
wouldn't even see the year come in.
You could have brought his little sweater, sitting out on the deck,
Y'all
running
tell me what we're
around.
doing tonight? Like we kicking it out house?
Oh yeah, so this is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real laid back.
Yes, we all wanted to be in our sweats.
Mhm.
This
So
year.
that's how we determined what we were doing.
'Cause
Yeah.
we had
Let's go.
12-piece suits on last year.
Yeah.
so-
Let's go
Right.
to someone's house and be in sweats. Yay! That sounds like a perfect Happy New Year.
And this will be what, like 5? We haven't been in the house for like
Yeah,
5
about
years.
5 years,
Because
yeah.
normally we are dressed up. Like we were looking through time
Oh,
out. We were
gosh,
like,
yeah.
oh shoot. I'm
I
like, ooh,
forgot, yeah.
well,
We just
okay.
stayed at a hotel downtown.
That's
Yeah.
right, y'all too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm, not this year.
We chilling.
We tied.
And we moved in May, so we trying to.
Yeah.
Yes,
Settle
that
in.
was
That's
another.
big.
Man, yeah.
Twin-
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
2019.
good year.
Yeah,
2019
We got a
was
new
good.
home.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. I smile every day when I leave from work. It's only gonna be 6 miles.
That is
home.
so cool.
Yeah.
Like I get in the car and I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be like that.
So cool.
It's great. So that's definitely some celebrating. We did a lot, and
A lot.
I think that there's a lot of growth. Personally with our marriage, finances, just everything was it was a good year for us.
Yeah. Took
Yes.
the kids to Paris, they had a good time.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, we enjoyed living through your photos.
Yeah.
It was excellent. Oh, that's not
No,
Paris.
no,
Okay.
not at all.
Magnifique.
That was tremendous. Tremendous. I knew you. I knew
C'est
you.
bon.
I knew you were gonna come in with the language. Thanks.
Yes.
Bonjour.
All right. So was that it for 2019?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't remember much. So I'm feeling like what happened, because I think, like I said, we got in the mode of seeing all the woe is me posts.
Mhm.
So I think looking at that, I couldn't remember stuff because I have really let go. Like everybody always talks about let go of what happened in 2019.
Mhm.
Go into
Like the one
2020,
with the
the new.
bags.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
walking up steps.
The bags behind
Yes.
and the step.
Yeah.
Talking about baked chicken in front of me, fried chicken behind.
Oh wow, really?
Popeyes was behind her.
Yes.
It was baked
Baked
chicken in
chicken
front.
sandwich.
I was like,
Sandwich.
sister.
Yeah, so I think I really have left it behind.
Mhm.
So I think that's why the posts are aggravating me. So like, when you gonna start that?
Mm.
Like you're talking about 2019 is left behind, so you gonna hold on to it and tell all the bad stuff about 2019 to the very last minute,
Right.
to 11:59.
Right.
And you can get a switch and it's like, we're good.
I'm cleansed.
I'm good now.
Right. So I don't know. I know it is just a natural timing for that to happen, but
Mhm.
like even for like weight loss and all that stuff, I started right before Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not
Yeah.
waiting till
Nah, you can hit the reset button
everybody
anytime.
is getting ready to be like,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't want to do it. I want to
Yeah.
start now.
Club gym, it'd be crowded.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to
Mhm.
do it. I'm not. I'm trying. That's what I'm going in 2020 with. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing what everybody else doing.
Oh
No.
wait. Oh,
What?
because she says that we're against the crowd. We always say we're not doing it. So now you joining us? You joining us?
These two.
Join us.
Well, these three really.
No.
I'm the only
Yeah,
one
that's
that tries to.
We be like, eh.
Uh-uh.
I'm not getting no Popeye sandwich. Everybody got one.
Oh, I didn't get one either.
I did.
Ah!
We're
Not
gonna
that
switch. We'll switch.
Not good.
They weren't that good.
Yes, it's okay. It's fine. It's Popeye
It was too
chicken.
much hype around it. It's like if I go to
Just like I
Popeyes,
had
I want a
Minnesota
3-piece
beef.
wing.
Yeah.
I hadn't.
I
So
like
that
chicken tenders though.
that was the thing of 2019, the chicken sandwich. I forgot that was a
yeah.
big hype.
Mhm.
What else was trendy? We didn't do it.
I don't know, but I know everybody's in Ghana, and I should be there.
You didn't get the memo?
I mean, we already went to Paris, so we couldn't really couldn't swing 2 holidays in a row. But it is the return. Like it's supposed to be, Africa specifically. Like there was an open invitation for African Americans to return to Ghana.
Gotcha.
So people are kicking that off like right now.
That's
It's like a big
cool.
festival, like a little Essence Afro
Mm-hmm.
festival thing going on. So my social media is like everybody's in Ghana right now.
That is so cool.
Hmm.
Next time.
Better plan.
Right. Looking forward to 2020, so we'll
Yeah.
do that next year. No.
Right. Well, 2020, I will be stamping into my 40s. So
Yes.
first thing off the bat, y'all already know my birthday. We celebrate all month, but guess what? It's gonna be all year this year because it's the year 40.
I love
All
it.
you 80s babies take notes because I know pretty soon you will too be 40. So you just have to watch how we do it, okay, and then try to top it.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
you
you
go
setting the
forth.
standard.
You go forth and set the
Mhm,
standard. We shall follow our elders.
Yep. Yep. 1 year later, you'll be right there. Just 1 good year. And then our resident elder has done a great job. He will too be enjoying my 40
Oh yeah, we
year.
have
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So glad.
All year long.
So glad. So, speaking of, do you have anything that is a 40 goal? Like, do you have a goal for 40? Like, what is it?
Besides
You know,
dance.
some people.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some people are like, by 40 or in my 40s, I want to blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm really excited about the 40s for real. Like,
I really am. I mean, I've been waiting to be 40 for a long time. I've always had a lot of
how long
older
have you been
friends.
waiting for
Well,
40?
when they started turning 35, I was like, oh my God, you're gonna be 40. But I was like in my 20s. So I'm like, you know how Bree one is.
Yeah.
Like, I had friends who are 40.
But they were
45,
fabulous.
46.
Yes.
And so I'm like, dang, when? So that's why whenever I post, they're like, dang, finally gonna be 40. Like, I really feel like, yes, it's time to be grown and do grown up things.
Yeah.
But as far as like goals and stuff about the age, I don't think that is necessary.
That's
I think
not my
you
flow
hit
either.
it when you
Yeah.
hit it. And even like the 40, that's great because it's a golden year, but they say like when the year ends with 0 for you, that's your golden year. So
Okay, got you.
I'm on the 0. So I was born in 1980. So my golden year happens to be a new decade all the time. But like 35, I could be doing something, and 28, I could be doing something. Like I didn't wait and say, okay, in my 40s, I'm gonna be doing this and teaching, traveling, like stuff like that. I don't know. And in my 50s, I don't know, 60s, living life. I'm not.
Yeah.
There's no
Whatever's
holding
next.
back of things.
Yeah.
But
It
what-
comes when it comes.
Yeah, what I love about the 40s, or I don't know, I just feel inspired because there's so many stories that are like coming out about people who are hitting their 40s and still and like chasing dreams and because you know how people look at aging differently. So like, I know that there is like a sector of people who's like, oh, just wait, keep getting older, keep living life,
Happy birthday.
you gonna see,
Yeah.
you gonna woe is me. Like I'm not that. Like I am so inspired by the wisdom and the experience that comes with aging that I see too many examples of people who are fabulous at 70, at
Right.
80.
Yeah.
So aging does not bother me or make me nervous, or I've never gone into like a depression. You know, some people go into a depression because of turning 25. I remember one
But
of
I
my
think
good
when they
friends.
do that, it's like maybe they're not living to their potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's their
They don't have
own
any
thing.
goals, and it's almost like I live my best life already. Like we talk about with some people we graduated high school with, and it's like, well,
They
that was the
peaked.
pinnacle.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of life in front of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, geez.
That's
You
so
know,
For
true.
real.
But like Ava DuVernay didn't pick up a camera until she
That's what I
was
was about to say.
38.
Yeah.
So it's like you can have lots of options and new careers.
You
and,
really
But
can.
Dolomite, when we was watching that, I was like, I didn't realize how old he was when he got his
started.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what, 48?
40, 50 almost. I
Oh
think.
my
Yeah.
God! And Samuel L. Jackson.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And so, I mean, the moral of the story is
Mhm.
just a world of possibilities for life, for marriage, for,
Mhm.
Keep pursuing. Yeah, keep
that's
pursuing.
right. Keep pursuing.
And then what's next?
That's
I
right.
mean, not saying you have to always be chasing something, but like, it's never okay to just be like, that's my life.
Yeah.
I'm just about to lay and sleep the rest until I die. Like
Every stage of life offers something
it's
different.
never gonna be
Yeah.
over until it actually is.
It's
So,
over,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen. Never gonna be over till.
like my dad said, this is a new generation. He thinks he's gonna live to 120. So
I
he's
like
like,
it.
y'all gonna be living longer than that. I was like, well, who knows? Sure, great. I'll get a new knee, a new hip.
I knew anything.
That
That reminds me of your mama's boyfriend.
Yep.
He's like, folks be worried about. Okay, I'm trying not to do that.
Boy.
Folks are worried about surgery. I'm just like, if you can fix it, go on in there and fix it. I was
Cut
like,
it
that
off.
is such a different attitude, because some people like have such a fear of,
Oh yeah.
oh no, don't do it. But he's
Yeah.
like, if you have a method to fix it and it requires doing that,
I'm going to get it
please
fixed.
do it.
Gotta do it.
Right. Those people with new hips and knees really do be
They
like
really-
doing cartwheels.
And running marathons.
I'm like, that sounds great. I'll
Mhm.
take one now.
Right.
Sure, I'll have
Before it
one.
gets too bad.
Sure.
Then you feel-
Don't let me
My mom got a knee replaced.
Don't let me
Yeah.
fall first.
Right. And have to
That's
get it.
painful. Oh my gosh. So family visions?
Mhm. So we just talked about keep pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, this is kind of like the goal of the retreat last year was
Yes.
to cast the vision, 2020 vision. So
Mhm.
now we're finally at the place where we have been working on it already
Mhm.
in September. And so, stepping into 2020, we're already ready.
yeah.
So that's the good thing about the retreat too. Is like you really can, get your life in order, get your plans in order, get your marriage goals in order before it's like,
yes,
what we
don't,
gonna do tonight?
don't try to do it
Right.
all on New Year's Eve.
No, it should already be. You should be very secure
Yes.
and knowing what's up.
So, I want to turn it over to the leaders of our households and talk about the family vision, like they're
Goals.
the leaders of our family. So, and even if it's not like in writing anywhere, I know that we have all had
Just thoughts and
informal
things, right?
conversations about what we might want. So I would think it would be cool if each of you shared what y'all have in your minds. You want to see this unfold, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Because we have a clue, but we may not.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
all
we
on script.
we want to travel more. We said next Christmas we don't want to buy anything. We want to eat because we're both teachers. Either go somewhere for Thanksgiving break or Christmas break. So that's number one. And I think we got to focus more on the kids too, because with them getting older, Mari's going to high school and he's going to performing arts. So he's got a lot of irons in the fire. So we've got to just
Yeah.
keep rolling with him. Like we just bought him a keyboard. Like he took to it. Like he likes music, so and he's going into
Yes,
tech
just like his
theater.
mother.
Yeah. So
we have the LLC that we got some things to do.
right, we got some things we want to work on. We want to try to get our business rolling, real estate, property, and stuff like that. So we got to sit down and write some things down and start planning for sure.
I think we just need to push go. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's me, but I will follow your lead wherever you lead us. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Nope. I'm just gonna close my eyes and push go.
All right. Well. So
Hey,
more
that-
trips, more
Okay.
I think we got to get our calendar locked down, weekly calendar. The kids keep us busy, but we also find time for ourselves. But we really got to rely on the calendar a lot more this coming year, I believe, and lock that time in for our time as well. Because during Christmas break, we were hosting, running around, and we were like, dang, we didn't sit down and talk and stuff like that. So,
Well, Cozy is a great app for planning, family planning. They don't pay us, but they should. But
Oh, I know Cozy.
it's COZI, but it's helped us out a lot, because that was one of my biggest issues. And like, listen, you got to put some of these things down on the calendar. So I found the app and she actually installed it and used it. So that was definitely something that helped us out as it relates to family planning and just kind of keeping up with all the moving and everything else, from day to day and week to week. So
it was nice because it has like who it pertains to, and like you can say, okay, y'all can put it separately, like, okay, I gotta go get Ainsley, you gotta go get Brooklyn. Like if it's just you and Brooklyn, it's gonna have, okay, you and Brooklyn are doing the STEM night.
right.
Me and Ainsley, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all
Check
going.
that out.
Like
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's color coordinated. Like it really is streamlined.
Yeah, and it can sync to your Apple Calendar and any other calendar as well. So, little plug.
I like it.
right.
For the apps.
I think one of the things for us for 2020 is really kind of start focusing on legacy, kind of moving forward. Like for me, my 20s, my 30s were kind of like, all right, well, just build for myself, try to figure out, can I establish, what is Forsyth Mitchell, whether that's professionally, relationship wise, whatever the case may be. But now it's kind of really more about, okay, what are we going to kind of start working on now that the kids can take advantage of kind of moving forward. So, and that's one reason, like, I kind of stepped back a little bit from the financial thing with credit restoration, because I wasn't really for sure if this was going to be a long-term deal for us, and kind of looking at some other avenues and kind of really start pouring into what we're doing now, and then some other things that me and Keisha have been working on, kind of moving forward. So that's one big goal for us, is kind of going ahead and establishing that and kind of moving forward from year to year. With that, I think obviously traveling has always kind of been a part of our family, and I don't think next Christmas can get here fast enough for somebody. We need to get past the first Christmas. Like, well, no, we're going to Dubai next year.
I
And
know.
I'm like,
I don't like to hear about it till it's almost time. I don't want to hear it.
I'm like,
here.
man,
I'm
can we
just
get to
thinking,
2020 first? But that's fine.
Yeah, that's something we haven't ever done, like just write down all the places. That's something he told me the other day. I don't know if it was out of frustration or
It was just so many random I want to do this, I want to do that. I was like, man, can you just put it down on a piece of paper so I can see?
yeah, and that was, I mean, we've never done that. Like, I don't think we've ever like
You like the right stuff.
put it down what we were trying to do. It's just all up here, and it's like, oh, there's an idea, let's do it. Oh, there's an idea, let's do it. Y'all have a look.
Yeah.
I treat y'all.
I heard something.
Oh,
Yeah.
quit saying that.
Sit down
Don't say
at
that.
the creek.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm a big believer in, definitely writing things down. It's funny. We usually always around this time of the year we talk about a notebook that I found, or just some of the stuff that we just kind of, all right, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then it's like, wow, well, we did do this,
Yeah,
and we did do
we
that.
did like
So,
a family brain dump. I guess it was 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and you found it, and you're like, oh, look at all this stuff. We like really did this stuff, and you were talking about recently how you'll just post something or just
Right.
throw it out virtually, and
Yeah, like God literally manifested this whole house based on like I could like connect the posts. I was like, I want a house by Silver Common Trail, just random posts, right? And then it was like, then Amari goes, I want a house so I can go get some sugar from the neighbor. And I was like, well, he wants sugar from the neighbor. Like, I'm just like, just all these random things
Close
going
to
into
word.
motion. And even like that whole Sharifa starter pack, do you remember? I still didn't find that, but it was literally like Paris. It was freezing. It was some tropical. It was like
Yeah,
4
yeah,
different
yeah.
things. And I was like,
She told me
I don't even want to go to Paris. Why is this even? This was last year, and literally, I was like, look at this now. Really, check.
Yeah.
So I do think the vision boards are gonna be super integral moving on as far as
Right.
like just having that and the visual or however you're gonna do it.
it really, we talked about it when we went to see Michelle Obama and Tracy
Mhm.
Ellis Ross. That was right up on my vision board, and I did not even. It wasn't. Oh, that's on my vision board, so
Yeah.
let's go do it. It
No.
just
It
came.
manifested.
We were
In
like,
the
what?
atmosphere.
Yes, energy. Come on
Mhm.
through, go on. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool, and
It's
you
cool to
can
see
do
the
it.
other side of it too. Like, wow, that really did
Happen.
happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cool. I don't know. I know that a lot of people do individual vision boards for yourself, but like
Mhm.
a family vision board, I think people do it, you know, but I'll push that out there. Let's encourage the audience to definitely do a vision board for your family and for your marriage. Like I've been trying to organize it in my head because y'all know I'm not necessarily the most organized, but like I'm like, I want to have something for me and my spouse, like a section there, and then a
Mhm.
section for my kids, and then a section for like overall for both of us. I mean, for
Mhm.
all of us. And then, we talked about doing a Sweet Tea and Sunshine vision board, and
Yeah.
we came up with so many very specific goals
Right.
that could go up on it. So whether that's a Pinterest board, whether that is posting, just like putting stuff out and what you're
Mhm.
focusing on maybe your social media, there are so many different ways to do it. I am old fashioned. I like to have it where I can put it up on my wall and I see it in my closet. So
And to all the guys whose spouses may be listening to this and bring you into it, and you don't know why, make sure you get some manly magazines, because I told her she had all these essence in there. I was like, listen, I need something that's going to speak to me.
like, don't you have some Black Enterprise over there?
Yeah, like I'm thinking of magazines. I don't think we even own any
Mm-mm.
magazines.
But
You
you can
just go on the
easily
internet,
print it
the
off.
pictures.
That's what
Yeah.
I told him. I said, you don't need no mag. That's just how I.
Well, our neighbor thought it was mighty kind of her to bring us magazines, and this was kind of a weird situation, but she brought all the ebony and essence
No, she
and
didn't.
Legit?
Well,
all of
I
them.
said thank you.
Oh, how nice.
She probably needed to read something to get some cultural
Mhm.
Diversity.
education.
Isn't she Asian? Is that?
Not the
No,
one.
not
right
the
next
one
to
right
her.
next to her.
I was
This is
like,
across
that's
the
cute.
street.
She's diverse in a different way. But
Okay.
we like her. She's fine. But anyway, he just always throwing shade about that. But
Sports Illustrated.
so many
Right.
ways to.
That wouldn't help.
No.
Black hair.
You took it back. It's like, you about to steal a magazine.
No.
You don't went back to the day you went to the beauty shop with your mama. Then you still got my look at that
Legit
magazine.
magazine. Page 42.
But yeah, it is as simple as printing it off. Like that's so simple. Like you can just pull up what your visions are and print them off.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
easier. Cool. Financial goals.
Oh gosh, we
Or-
talked a little about this last night, and I have not stopped thinking about it, even as I fed my face.
Look, yes, we talked about how
Yeah.
we eat up our money. That's what, like, he was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
man, I
definitely.
started like just perusing through.
Mm.
We just eat up our money. Like,
Yeah.
all we do is eat out, and that is a big.
It's a It's a
Right.
budget killer for us, just in terms of sometimes I just look at it like, man, we could have did something totally different with this, especially when you start looking at quarterly and then half the year, and I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah.
But then I almost sometimes justify it because I'm like, well, we go out and we're dating, experiencing life, and this, that, and the other. So it's kind of a balance, but I would like for 2020 to really kind of put more of a intentional spin there. So it's like, okay, we know this is the pot of money that we're doing this with, and once we do it, then it's done, and not just kind of on a whim
That's
because
my
everybody's kind of
language.
lazy.
Talking my language. I just want, I want
it.
hit this man to hear.
Where he go? Come back. We twins on this now. Come back.
Because I have the app Albert. I know we're throwing all these apps, but hey, there's some freebies. But Albert tells me about our spending. And Albert was like, you've gone to Chick-fil-A 35 times in the last 2 months. And I'm like, I went to Chick-fil-A once.
I don't know Chick-fil-A anymore.
So that was pretty funny. Like, it does tell you all the things, but it also makes suggestions like, if you like Chick-fil-A, I suggest you get a gift card for $100 with Chick-fil-A. And then when that's done, that's done.
And the apps can do that. Like, you can preload money on the apps.
Right.
There's so many different. I use the Apple Card now. I applied for it and got it just because they give David cash. So
Oh,
it's
you
kinda,
like it?
Oh yeah, it's easy, convenient. It's it shows you, you know, the daily spending and everything else, and you get, like I said, the points back. And I tried to get away from using my debit card, the check card, for anything, just because of fraud and everything else. And if they
You
decide,
didn't tell me, babe.
well, you
like
use
if
your own
you're-
little account.
So the Apple Card is better than the debit card just because of that?
Well, so like so it's just like a credit card in and of itself. But if someone were to steal that, it's just credit
Hold
card
on one
money.
second. Just gonna, if you can say that again, but we'll pause.
Okay.
No sound for a minute. Okay.
So the Apple Card is like any other credit card. But the reason why I don't like to use my check card, because if that gets stolen, then they actually get access to cash. With the credit card, it's like, yeah, it's still money, but you can get that back and say, you know, they'll go through an investigation process and everything else.
So, but
Boy.
that's not the same as Apple Pay.
No, Apple Pay is just like a payment
PayPal.
process. Yeah, exactly. But the Apple Card is an actual credit card that's connected to Apple Pay, but they'll send you a real card too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
use it on a daily basis, so it kind of, and that's probably another reason why I started noticing how much money we were spending on food, because it was right in my face versus I had to go log into the bank account.
So the
filter
card
out and
tells you
everything
like
else.
what you're spending.
Yeah, and it'll categorize
Oh,
and everything
I don't
else.
want one of those. At first, I was like, why don't I? I'll pass. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got the eating out. Yeah, we definitely got to do better than that. 'Cause like today, like I said, you like, okay, we're hungry, so you got to get Zaxby's just for 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh
just
yeah, it's a
one
$30,
person.
$40 deal.
We got that
easy.
Quattro over here
Yeah.
too.
We gotta
Yeah.
stop bringing the kids with us when we go places.
Right, they
Right.
better eat peanut butter and jelly, and we
Yeah.
just run out. Y'all ain't work for this yet.
So
Yeah.
what I've tried to do is like, you know, start getting things that I like to cook with. So like outside or hibachi, I've been looking at those type of things. So that way, at least it'll be fun for me.
Oh,
Yes, this is new information.
okay. What?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that.
News alert, news alert.
Hey,
You'll get
So
some
no eating out in
actual food.
January. We just gonna cook.
Who?
We don't
I
have
would
to say.
listen,
Are
we
we,
can't just
are
jump.
we gonna have a family pack?
February.
Wait. We
Let's
can't
go
just jump into
February.
this
No,
thing.
not cold turkey,
Yeah, we
because
can do
otherwise we
January.
won't be able to.
Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah,
It's a
we
lot
going
of
out of
My
town.
birthday.
February.
No, that's all year. So
All year long, we have to eat out.
We're not eating out in February.
yeah.
But I mean,
But y'all just said you want to do,
No.
do better. How do
What
we
I'm
start
saying
it?
is-
We gotta start it.
but what I'm saying is limited to a certain amount of times. Then you don't feel like you're missing out on life because
No.
you're just trying to.
We do it
Is it a certain amount
because
of
we go
times or a certain
somewhere.
amount of money?
Times, because we like,
Times.
hey, we leaving practice like, hey, can you stop and grab something? Like, okay, and they go to practice 3 times a week.
Because if we
Yeah,
do
it's
that,
lifestyle
then maybe we
sometimes.
could be like, well, if we did that, we don't get our date night.
Oh,
So either we either we gonna stop and pick up this and be lazy, or we gonna spend it where we need to spend it.
And at the end of the day, it's really
I'm
just
coming
about
to
being.
conclusions. Why are y'all accepting now?
That's better than nothing.
Well, and to Val's point, like you got to start somewhere, and it's just really about being disciplined. Like this is just another part of like life in general. So if you can't be disciplined in this area, then you're not gonna be disciplined.
Why are you looking all in my face?
Because you the one who getting
You
hot.
hide,
Yeah.
you coat off and
And we
shaking
say hey, we eating out
commotions.
too much, so we gotta start somewhere. So
But I
February, we
love
not eating
this.
out in February. We're gonna
Sir,
lock it in. We're gonna lock it
you're
down.
okay. Who are you talking about? You're talking about us all together, or you by yourself?
Us, our house.
So
We
when
said
you're
February.
off in Alabama working, are you gonna be eating out then, or?
Are you gonna take the
Are
ham
you-
sandwich?
What do we say? I said in February, so I'm gonna make the adjustment.
Ham
But what I'm
sandwich?
saying, you said we not.
So that's negative
So-
attitude. That's like
no.
you're not trying to.
So as you can see,
Wait.
I said I'm gonna make. If I make the adjustment, I'm gonna make the adjustment.
So okay, well, I was trying to get clarity because
Yeah, about
you
what that
said
means.
we. Does that mean us, or does that mean us individually?
As a
That
family?
means our family.
Not family dinners, but individual
Oh, you
people.
just-
No, that's real. For real.
It's a
Way too much.
question.
No, no,
I
I
said in
think that's
February we're not gonna purchase from a restaurant.
So
the whole
like for
None of
lunch,
us.
dinner, or
that's
breakfast.
a good month though. It's only got 28 days.
It's-
So.
Okay.
We're not
That
gonna
was a
purchase
good
from a restaurant.
For lunch, okay, so like for lunch, breakfast, lunch, or
Nothing.
dinner.
No, we just use the resources we have at home.
We didn't say the Mitchells. Now that's the negative.
No.
I don't have anything.
We
to
can
I was
do.
try
like-
it.
You know the way my lunch set up, I'm going somewhere almost every day.
Oh no.
Yeah, I go out to eat every day.
No.
But I just put that. I know that's a part of what I like to do.
Golly.
So I don't go. I
You
don't
don't
go
want
to
to
Target.
Chick-fil-A on my app.
Probably.
Our ass,
Probably.
our ass connected. It's you.
Eat
Y'all
Chick-fil-A
do it
every
when
day. All these
Well, that
Chick-fil-A
is-
stuff.
That's big though, because we don't as teachers.
No,
you
I do
can't.
some meal preps. I'm some leftovers. Like,
Mhm.
that's how I roll.
But you do work in a place where you would
Yeah,
have
you want
to
to get
put
away a
forth
little bit.
effort.
You want to step away from the office.
Oh,
a
that's
little
true too. You want to leave,
Yeah.
right?
He does.
Yeah, and meeting clients.
But
and
a
it just
lot of
kinda
their stuff
happens.
is meeting at lunch.
bit.
A
Yeah.
lot of their stuff.
Yeah, you can't help that.
Mm.
Whatever.
You
Let me
know,
take
that's
that.
like lunch. Yeah, you can't help
Yeah,
it.
you could pull up some table with a brown
You
sack
know,
lunch.
Baby, I
fix
hadn't ate a sack
I'll
lunch. We've
fix
been
it
married
for
for
you.
12 years.
it. You know what, Veronica, your mama would be so happy to do what she used to do for you when you were younger. She always brags about that.
What? Right.
I
well,
used
no.
to put, I used to like, no, I used to put it in his car, put him, and it just be right on the seat, and he would never get his lunch. I can get her to do that again for you.
I'm so glad y'all love each other.
I used to pack this guy's lunch, and he would eat it for breakfast.
Oh, I did that too.
Ooh,
I did
we
that.
went through that. We went through that.
And then I still go out
trying
and
to
eat
make
lunch.
right. Then I was trying to make two,
What is that?
and then he eat both of those.
Yeah,
He's like, oh yeah, I already ate it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's in the car. And at that point in time, when we
You
first
were
got
driving
married, I
the
was
wrong
driving an hour and a half to work.
Oh,
so
so
it
you
was like a
getting
snack. I was like,
I was
I get downtown Atlanta, like, yeah, let me go break the sandwich on out there.
I do remember
That ain't
that.
right.
I
That
do
ain't
remember
right.
that. That was so funny.
I stopped doing. I stopped making
It
it. I was
wasn't a
like,
point.
listen, this
There's
is
no
not.
point.
Now we doubling up on groceries and going out.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
I'm real big on, that you work hard, you should enjoy it, but you have to make sure that, you're not sacrificing other things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times, especially, again, we like to travel, some of our eating out could subsidize some of the travel.
Oh, travel.
Cause
The
it's
whole
been,
travel.
You're absolutely
the whole
right.
trip.
It's like
and that's where-
thousands of dollars a month
exactly.
on food.
Right.
Like that's a couple of trips.
I think
Yes.
I'm about to stop eating.
And and that's definitely not
I'm
gonna
done.
happen.
Never. Now
Look,
if it was
you know the way your
me,
stomach set up? Just be like,
I'm not
hey,
eating no
hey,
more.
what we eating today?
Air.
That's the biggest
I
question.
have to
Wake
plan.
Wake up. Talk about what we
Yeah.
I have to plan.
For dinner. Well, we ain't even got out the house yet for breakfast, but
What y'all not listening to?
High five. High five. You did it.
Sorry. I'm in that cooking.
that's all right, man.
Yeah,
He's working
And
hard.
that black eyed
He
peas
is
going.
cooking.
The
I
guy
could have sworn
The
I
collard
came.
greens.
So what? So tell us the old
recipe?
legacy. He said
Well-
the recipe. What's the old legacy about not pintos, black eyed peas and collards? Why do we eat that at New Year's?
Oh, wives too.
Yeah, old school. They say collard greens bring
Watch your face.
prosperity, money.
Money.
Collard greens brings just
Black eyed peas are luck.
black eyed peas bring
Yes.
luck, can bring prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
We
So
used to add the
We eat it
cornbread.
every year. My
Where's
granny was real big on this.
I used to
I
hate
didn't like
them.
black eyed peas too.
I
Yeah, I
we
used
like
to hate them until he made some really good ones, and I was like, oh.
we had
But
a
you know,
ham
we
bone.
didn't
put the
eat
ham
ham
bone.
growing up
Yeah,
either.
so we ate that.
So I
pork.
never-
Yeah, we ate
we
that.
too.
Yeah.
These
So I had to
southern-
say it the
That's
right
a
way.
southern-
Teas over here.
Apparently, I had
Your
vegetarian ones.
unseasoned
We
black eyed
purposely
peas.
make a ham. We smoke a ham for
I
Christmas,
think it's so good.
and we only cut off a little bit of meat, and then we put it in the freezer. So we put that thing. In
I'm
there,
so
black
excited
eyed
because I
peas.
could have sworn my grandmama had risen and come
You
and cooked.
smelled it
And
coming
I
in.
walked in the house. I was like, Grandma!
They'll make that killer cornbread taste like cake.
Yes. Hopefully she can teach Ansley.
Shit, look at that.
Good. She talking about she want to start cooking.
She need to make some rice.
Ooh, black eyed peas.
Yeah, I
rice.
set the
Somebody
rice
done
out
did
there.
He said.
He eats
Hey, we just had a sidebar. We were
No,
hungry as
no.
well.
Right.
But here's the thing. This is what marriage is.
It is.
You improvise, you flow, you make it work, you get your goals, you argue about food.
You
Yeah, I
gotta
have
have
a
some
question.
friends.
Is there
Sorry.
anyone
I
who
would
wants to
love
hold
that.
us accountable for our meals? I mean, I know y'all, of course, we will with each other.
Right.
But if you're like on YouTube or whatever,
Hey, don't be hitting me up talking about
You
did I
can-
go to lunch though.
you can-
Yes,
And
I
you
went
can-
to lunch.
just say you're in, and then we can do like little check-ins just to make
Yeah.
sure that we are doing what we need to. We can do it on the page or not, but you know.
Yeah, and then
I
we can
think
post
we'll do
whatever trip we save the money for that we go on. We be
Absolutely.
like, this came from not
Oh
eating.
my gosh, that would be so
This
cool.
came from not eating.
Not eating.
I'm fasting, y'all. 2020, I'm fasting.
Okay. Okay, y'all cold turkey
2020.
people.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat straight. I go veggies the first
He
of
does,
the year.
and then he
Yes.
turns so skinny.
I
I
turn
remember
social media
that.
slap off. So you want
Oh
to see
yeah,
me
that
on
is
social
right.
media.
Yep.
I remember
Mhm.
that.
That's when people get the worst in the first of the year.
What
Really?
were you about to say
In
though
tax time.
about?
Oh,
friends?
yeah, they be
What were you about to
I
say?
say when you
about-
marry, you want to have friends that
Oh.
are married to hang out with, because you, of course, being with your spouse is great, but when we go out together and with everybody else, it's we have a good time.
Yeah,
Like at the Ugly Christmas meetup.
Yeah,
that
y'all
was
missed
a lot
it.
of fun.
that was so much.
Oh,
Ugly
yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
sweater. I always miss
At
the
the
sweater.
You had those patio heaters.
At
Oh,
Hawks
what?
City Markets.
That was
See?
fun.
Y'all want to come hang with us? You might get invited to the house. You never know.
Yep. Good time.
Might.
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 Show them that picture of that food.
So okay, so that was a couple of goals, huh? No,
No, I don't know.
we had a lot of goals.
Yeah,
We
it was a lot
talked
of
about
goals.
some
It was a lot
goals.
I
of
need
goals.
to write.
So
those down.
financially, we said, definitely.
We want to get the business rolling.
That is a couple goals, yeah, because
Get some
as
extra
couples,
income.
yeah.
Get some sleeping income. I mean, like when you sleep and the income still coming in.
We like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like what Seth said, legacy. Like we definitely want. I want to, get the kids an LLC and start like authorized use on credit cards. They can start building their credit up and stuff that they didn't do for us.
Yeah.
But other people are doing for their kids.
Yes.
Right.
Just
And
so they
protecting a
can-
legacy too.
Right.
There's so many, and I think also when having like friends like this, like that's how. I mean, not saying I love the good old boy system, but that's how the system works out.
Yeah.
When we raise our kids a certain way, then you are expecting a certain thing from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep
And-
them together and teach them.
And just
together.
make sure that they are able to hold each other accountable and they are surrounding themselves with people who were brought up kind of the same way. Not saying you can't add on other friends, but I just think that the core of how your family values are even coming about, I think that's super important for our legacy.
Right.
And, we're not arranging marriages or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like,
Right.
just
But you want them to have similar thoughts and
Mhm.
ideas about different things.
yeah, bringing back that who are their parents
Right.
for sure. Like,
Check your background.
Oh, you really feel that we can't do that?
we're not doing that one. We're not
That's
doing-
a question
we
for
have so
another
many-
day. We're so excited about our 2020
Mhm.
episodes. We stayed up till 4 a.m.
With our planning
Planning.
session.
And they were talking. I woke up every 2 hours. Like, oh, they still talking.
I got a text every other hour. Like, y'all, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
You sleeping tonight? No.
Not at all. So this was so much fun. Our first podcast of 2020 with our husbands. You will definitely hear more appearances by them and see more appearances on YouTube and IGTV
Yeah,
with our
You know, you probably
husbands.
just saw the side of my head most of the time.
So
He has a pretty face.
He believes in eye contact.
we are so excited about 2020. Please look for us on Instagram,
The
Facebook. Oh, sorry, what?
the Sweet Tea and Sunshine podcast on Instagram. And on Facebook it's Sweet Tea and Sunshine. We also have a website called theteashine.com.
Mhm.
We are on Patreon if you want to drop some coins. Anything
Drip,
else?
drop, drip.
Cash at me. Oh,
There's no
Wrong
cash
podcast.
app.
That's our podcast.
catch me in your local gymnasium, refereeing the games.
In the heat of the season. So pray for us until March.
Yes.
April.
All
Maybe
right.
hopefully beyond March.
So we are out. We are about to do
About to kick it.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's to everybody.
Yes. 2020 vision. Look out for our t-shirts that we will
Oh yeah.
be selling.
We- Merch?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
release those.
I
That
think
was
we all have some merch.
New you, new me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have some
I learned
merch
how to do
sell.
a peace sign in Japan last year. It's like this. You gotta force it forward.
What's the difference?
If you do this, it looks like a middle finger or a pointer, but you gotta do that.
Oh,
That's how the Japanese do it.
okay. I hope you're right.
They told us.
I didn't know nothing about that. Cool.
You weren't there.
All right. Well, till next time, people.
All right,
Happy
peace
New
out.
Year.
Happy New Year.
We're out.
Deuce.
Strong. you gotta punch it.
Oh, strong.
Good job.